evaluate an athlete's physical performance, then part of the process must be to look at them in motion, what we call movement screening. There have been many different systems of movement screening developed over the last 20 to 30 years, and some of them have took quite a quantitative approach to what really is a qualitative observation. That can be a good thing. It can be a very simple system. If the person who you're assessing performs the movement with no problem, through full range, they score well. If they have issues, if there's difficulty, they don't score quite as well. If they fail to make the movement, they don't score at all. Or if they have pain during the movement, they don't score at all. It's a good system, but it kind of shies away from looking at movement and being brave enough to assess it in terms of qualitative terms. So sometimes you have to step back, look at the movement and say, well, where is it successful? Where is its strengths? And where is its weaknesses? And can I recognise what might be causing those weaknesses? Or will this screen help me to interpret other movements or look at other tests that will eventually help me nail down how well this person moves or where they have issues? Virtually every screening system will include an evaluation of the deep squat, often with an overhead stick raise. So it might look a little bit like this. Now, how do you interpret that movement? Well, I think us humans are natural observers of movement. It's what we do. And I'll demonstrate that to you. If I perform a movement such as an anterior lunge with overhead, this movement just here, now that doesn't look too bad, I'm sure. What does that look like? Not so good. What you can see with the second variation is you can see collapse of the chain, you can see a lack of flexibility, you can see definitely a lack of stability in the frontal plane. You can quite frankly see that it's wrong. Now that is the essence of qualitative observation. Just be confident that you're seeing something that isn't right. Whether or not you fully understand it, well, maybe further tests and further experience with movement screening will lead to some form of evaluation. At this stage, what I want to do is show you maybe a few of the things that you will see in a squat. You might see weakness, collapse of the chain into total body pronation. You might see the opposite. You may see some flaring of the knees, often associated with stiffness, not making the range. You may see compensations elsewhere. You may see, as you go down into the squat, you may see the arms collapsing down and being dragged into flexion. You may also see regional issues. If you look at my right foot, you might watch it pronate in and drag the knee with it to a certain extent. Whether or not that weakness comes from the ankle or comes from the hip in terms of pronation, that's for other movement screens and other tests to really find out. Now, I'm going to show you a little collection of squats. There are some good ones, there are some not so good ones. Sit back, have a look at them, and see what you think. So there was lots of different ways to perform exactly the same movement. Did you see the guy with the hyperextending back? Did you see those examples of the asymmetries? Did you see the lack of flexibility? And did you see the lack of stability? Or in some cases, did you see a squat that was almost overstable, really shut down? Certainly what you did see was that some of those squats just didn't work. They just weren't right. For some reason, they failed the movement screen. They were showing us an inefficient movement quality. And that's the crux. Sometimes we've got to be confident at knowing what is good movement and what is less successful movement, and then drilling down into that less successful movement and trying to find out if we can find reasons why and techniques to correct, help and improve performance.